The Drawing, A Tale of Hidden Truths. Part 1. The day I found the drawing was exactly 3 weeks after Richard's funeral. I had finally mustered the courage to tackle his home office, a sacred space where I rarely ventured during our 42 years of marriage. Richard always said he needed his own sanctuary for work, and I had respected that boundary without question. That was our way. Respect, faith, trust, or so I had believed. I was methodically emptying his desk drawers, sorting items into 3 piles: keep, donate, and trash, when it slipped out from between 2 folders. A child's drawing on faded construction paper. Stick figures of 3 people, holding hands under a smiling sun, with childish handwriting at the bottom that read, "To Grandpa, love Lily." My hands trembled as I stared at it. Lily. We had 2 grandchildren, Emma and Jacob, from our daughter Sarah's marriage. There was no Lily in our family. I sat down heavily in Richard's leather chair, the one he'd insisted on buying despite its exorbitant price. "It's an investment in comfort, Margaret," he'd said with that charming smile I could never resist. Now, as the leather creaked beneath me, I felt like I was sinking into quicksand. My mind raced through possibilities, each more painful than the last. A friend's grandchild. A colleague's. Perhaps a mentee from his years as a professor. But the drawing was tucked away too carefully, hidden between folders in his locked bottom drawer, the key to which I had found taped under his desk. I pulled my phone from my pocket with shaking hands and called Sarah. "Mom, how's the cleaning going?" Her voice was gentle, concerned. She had offered to help, but this was something I needed to do alone, or so I had thought. "Sarah, do you know anyone named Lily who might have called your father Grandpa?" The silence that followed was brief but deafening. "No," she said finally. "Why do you ask?" I explained about the drawing, describing it in detail as tears welled in my eyes. "I'm coming over," Sarah said immediately. "Don't do anything else until I get there." I waited, the drawing laid out before me on Richard's immaculate desk. As I sat there, I began noticing other things that now seemed strange. The drawer contained several birthday cards signed with "All my love," but no name. A small velvet jewelry box held a locket with the initials EJ, engraved on the back, neither my initials nor Sarah's. By the time Sarah arrived, I had discovered 3 more drawings by Lily, and a photograph of a woman I'd never seen before, standing in front of a house I didn't recognize. She was beautiful, with dark hair and eyes that looked unsettlingly familiar. Sarah found me staring at the photo, tears streaming down my face. "Oh, Mom," she whispered, wrapping her arms around me. "Do you think—" I couldn't finish the sentence. Sarah took the photo from my trembling hands and examined it closely. "I don't know," she said softly. "But we're going to find out." Part 2. The next morning, I awoke with a determination that surprised me. 4 decades, I had been Margaret Wilson, devoted wife, mother, and retired elementary school teacher. I had lived comfortably within the boundaries of my predictable life. Now, at 68, I was about to become something else entirely. A detective unraveling the mystery of my own marriage. "We need to start with his phone and computer," Sarah said over coffee. She had stayed the night, sleeping in her old bedroom that we had preserved like a museum exhibit since she left for college 25 years ago. I handed her Richard's phone, which I had been unable to unlock. He changed the passcode last year. Said it was for security. Sarah, who worked in IT, connected it to her laptop. "There are ways around that," she said, her face set in concentration. While she worked on the phone, I opened Richard's laptop. To my surprise, it wasn't password protected. "That's strange," I murmured. "He was always so careful about security." "Maybe he wanted to be found out," Sarah suggested, not looking up from her task. "Sometimes people leave breadcrumbs, consciously or unconsciously." I navigated to his email, which was still logged in. Thousands of unread messages filled his inbox, most from the weeks since his unexpected heart attack. I filtered by sent messages, looking for anything unusual. And there it was. An entire folder labeled simply E. With a deep breath I clicked on it. Hundreds of emails spanning nearly 4 decades appeared. The most recent was sent just 3 days before Richard died. My darling Eleanor, the cardiologist says I need to take things easier. Maybe it's time to finally have that conversation we've been putting off for so long. 40 years is too much of our lives spent in shadows. I can't bear the thought of leaving this world with things as they are. Oh my love. I read the message aloud to Sarah, my voice breaking on the words, 40 years. She had abandoned the phone and was now sitting beside me, her hand on my shoulder. Mom, let me take over for a bit, she said gently. But I shook my head. No. I need to know everything. I scrolled backward through time, reading snippets of a life I had never known existed. Eleanor James. That explained the EJ on the locket. The emails revealed a relationship that began before Richard and I were married, one that had never ended. And there were references to someone named Lily, born 30 years ago. She's not just a grandchild, I whispered. Lily is his daughter. Which means... You have a half-sister, I said, looking at Sarah, whose face had gone pale. And you've had a husband who's been living a double life, she replied, her voice hardening in a way I'd rarely heard before. Part 3. The address wasn't difficult to find. Eleanor James lived in Portland, Oregon, explaining Richard's frequent academic conferences on the West Coast. Our home in Boston had been his East Coast life. For 40 years my husband had been commuting between 2 families, 2 lives, 2 selves. You don't have to do this, Sarah said as we sat in the rental car outside the modest blue house with white trim. It matched the background in the photograph I had found. Yes, I do, I replied. I lived a lie for 42 years. I need the truth now, no matter how painful. We approached the door together, Sarah's hand firmly gripping mine. Before we could knock, it opened. The woman from the photograph stood before us, older now but still beautiful. She appeared to be in her mid-60s, about my age. Her eyes widened in recognition. Not of me but of Sarah. You look just like him, she said softly. Sarah stiffened beside me. Are you Eleanor? I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. She nodded, then stepped back from the doorway. I've been expecting someone to come, eventually. Please come in. The living room was filled with books. Richard had always loved literature and photographs. I stopped short when I saw them. Richard, younger, smiling, with his arm around Eleanor. Richard holding a baby. Richard at what appeared to be a high school graduation with a young woman who had his eyes. That's Lily, Eleanor said, following my gaze. She's at work now. She's a pediatric nurse. I sank onto the couch, suddenly unsure if my legs would support me. Sarah remained standing, her arms crossed defensively across her chest. How long have you known about us? Yes. Eleanor sat in an armchair across from me. From the beginning. Richard never hid your existence from me. She paused, looking directly into my eyes. I'm sorry, but I can't say the same was true for you. Why? The question burst from Sarah. Why would you agree to this arrangement? Why would either of you? Eleanor sighed deeply. It's a long story. Richard and I met in college. We were engaged when he got the teaching position at Harvard. I had just been offered a research position here in Portland. Neither of us wanted to give up our dreams. So you decided to have your cake and eat it too, Sarah said bitterly. Sarah, I warned gently, though I understood her anger. We were young and foolish, Eleanor continued. We thought we could manage a long-distance relationship. Then Richard met you, she said, looking at me. He fell in love with you too, in a different way. He was going to break things off with me, but then... Then what? I prompted when she hesitated. Then I found out I was pregnant. And Richard couldn't bear to abandon his child. The revelation hit me like a physical blow. While Richard and I had been trying desperately to conceive during our early marriage, suffering through 2 miscarriages before Sarah was finally born, he had already fathered a child with another woman. So instead, he built a life of deception, I said. Eleanor looked down at her hands. We all made choices we have to live with. Part 4. When Lily arrived home later that afternoon, I was struck by how much she resembled Richard. She had his height, his jawline, his thoughtful way of tilting her head as she considered what to say. She was clearly shocked to find us there, but there was something else in her expression as she looked at Sarah, a hunger for connection that made my heart ache. "I've always wanted to meet you," she told Sarah. "Dad showed me pictures." "Don't call him that," Sarah snapped. Then more softly, "I'm sorry. This isn't your fault. He was my dad." The idea of sharing him, of not really knowing him. "I understand," Lily said. "I felt the same way about you." The two women, half-sisters separated by 5 years and 3,000 miles, studied each other cautiously across Eleanor's living room. I saw Richard in both their faces, and the sight was both painful and precious. We stayed in Portland for 3 days. Eleanor shared what she knew, which was everything. Unlike me, she had never been kept in the dark. Richard had spent roughly 4 months of each year with her and Lily, explaining his absences to me as academic obligations, research trips, and visiting professorships. "He left this for you," Eleanor said on our last evening, handing me a sealed envelope. "He wrote it after his first heart scare last year. Asked me to give it to you if anything happened to him, and if you ever found out the truth." I took it with trembling hands but couldn't bring myself to open it yet. Back in our hotel room, Sarah watched as I turned Richard's letter over and over in my hands. "Whatever it says, it won't change what he did," she said. "I know. But I need to hear his voice one more time. Even if it's to listen to his excuses." Finally, alone in the bathroom, I opened the envelope. "My dearest Margaret, if you're reading this, I am gone, and you have discovered my greatest betrayal. There is no apology sufficient for what I've done to you, but I hope you will let me try. I loved you. That was never a lie. But I loved Eleanor too, in a different way, and I was too weak, too selfish to choose. So I chose both, and in doing so, respected neither. I told myself I was protecting you from pain, but I was really protecting myself from consequence. Every year that passed made it harder to tell the truth, to face what I had done. The web of lies grew until I could hardly find my way through it myself. You deserved so much better than a part-time husband, than a life built on deception. Sarah deserved a father fully present. Lily deserved to know her sister. Eleanor deserved someone who could acknowledge her publicly. Failed you all. The heart condition that will likely take my life seems fitting, a literal broken heart for a man who broke the hearts of those he loved most. I have left instructions with my attorney regarding financial provisions for both households. It is the least I can do, though money is cold comfort for decades of betrayal. I don't ask for forgiveness, Margaret. I don't deserve it. But I do ask one thing. Please don't punish Lily and Eleanor for my sins. They are as much victims of my cowardice as you are. And please tell Sarah that she was my joy, my light, my greatest achievement in this life. As was Lily. If there is any grace in this terrible situation, perhaps it is that two extraordinary women might now know each other as sisters. With deepest remorse and eternal love. Richard. I sank to the cold tile floor, the letter clutched to my chest, as decades of tears finally broke free. Part 5. 1 year later, I stood in the garden of my new home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I had sold the Boston house. Too many memories, too many ghosts. Sarah had helped me find this place. A small adobe with a view of the mountains and enough garden space to grow the herbs and flowers I had always wanted to cultivate but never had time for during my teaching years. My phone chimed with a text. It was a photo of Sarah and Lily, standing together at Lily's baby shower. The caption read, "Your granddaughters want to know when Grandma's coming to visit her newest grandchild." I smiled through my tears. Lily was 7 months pregnant with a girl. She and her husband had asked me to be there for the birth. "You're the only grandma this baby will have," Lily had said when she called to invite me. Eleanor had passed away 3 months after our meeting, a swift and merciless cancer that had already been spreading when we met. The irony wasn't lost on me. Richard had died keeping his families apart, And now, in his absence, we had formed a new kind of family. Broken, complicated, but healing. I had not forgiven Richard. Perhaps I never would. But I had chosen not to let his betrayal define the rest of my life. I had found unexpected joy in knowing Lily, in watching her and Sarah forge a relationship that was tentative at first but growing stronger each day. Last month, I had finally agreed to meet Eleanor's brother and his wife, who had been aware of the situation all along. They had apologized for their complicity in the deception, and we had shared stories of the different versions of Richard we had each known. It was painful but also cathartic. The hardest conversation had been with Richard's brother, my brother-in-law James, who admitted he had suspected something but had kept his suspicions to himself. "I didn't want to destroy your marriage," he'd said. "It was already built on lies," I had replied. "Truth doesn't destroy anything worth keeping." As the sun set over the Santa Fe Mountains, I placed Richard's letter in a small fire pit in my garden. I had memorized every word, carried the weight of each sentence for a year. Now it was time to let go, not to forget but to move forward. I watched the flames consume his final words to me, transforming them to ash and smoke that drifted upward into the vast New Mexico sky. Tomorrow, I would fly to Portland to help prepare the nursery for my new granddaughter. Sarah would meet me there. Her first visit to her sister's home. Life, I had learned at 69, could still surprise you. It could break your heart into 1,000 pieces, then hand you glue in the most unexpected forms to help you reassemble it into something new, something that bore the cracks of its breaking but held together nonetheless. As the last ember of Richard's letter faded, I took out my phone and texted back to my daughters. "Grandma wouldn't miss it for the world. See you both tomorrow. I love you." Then I added something I hadn't planned. Perhaps we should name the baby Eleanor. Because some stories, even the most painful ones, deserve to be remembered. And some circles, however broken, deserve the chance to be completed. The end.